everybody. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 23rd, presented by Mercury. We got a special guest appearance from Tracy Robinson today, telling us all about Logan Martin and Lay Lake. Of course, we're going to connect with Tom Ott about Guntersville, and then we're going to talk to Lee Pitts about Weiss Lake and Neely Henry. We'll be right back with what the guys have to say. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 23rd, presented by Mercury. Hey, it's time for us to connect with our good friend and pro staffer, Tracy Robinson. He's going to let us know what's going on at Logan Martin and Lay Lake this week. Tracy, what's happening down there?
Logan and Lay, similar stories on each, a little bit different story per species, but Logan, lots of fish to be caught right now, mostly spotted bass. Tournament this past weekend, pretty significant numbers, 13 to 15 pounds was the top bags, almost everything spotted bass. Everybody's catching the spotted bass kind of on those transitions back to the main lake, topwater, spooks, sammies, whatever your preferred, topwater bait is around those rocky points on the main lake. So that's kind of the deal at Logan right now. Largemouth, there were very few largemouths weighed in, and Logan, Neely, Weiss, Coosa River, mostly in general, it's tough to figure out what's going on with the largemouth right now. There's a little bit of pre-spawn, just a little bit of post-spawn, a little bit of on bed. The water's rising about an inch a day, maybe an inch every day and a half at Logan right now, and I think that's probably going to trigger some largemouths, but it's still a little sketchy as to really what's going on with the largemouth right now. They're a little bit multiple stages. Lay, a little bit different, about a 70-degree, water temp at Lay right now. The largemouths are kind of up there doing their things, looking for that nickel grass, throwing the frogs, the swim jigs up around some of that nickel grass or your more favorite spawning areas at Lay has been really productive. The last few spots are kind of still up there, just kind of coming off the bed. They've already kind of done their thing for the most part at Lay, but you can still, with the spook, you can still get some pretty ferocious bites on the top water down at Lay, catching those last few bedding spots.
So is the reason that Logan is a little more touchy for the largemouth right now is just because the lakes above and below it, they kind of maintain their water levels a little bit better, and that one kind of gets fluctuated a bit more? Is that what's going on?
That's what I feel like, Dano. But just in the past 2 or 3 years, Alabama Power has been playing with some different scenarios on Weiss, Neely Henry, Logan. So it's hard for me to put a lot of knowledge into that based on what I've seen in the past, because it's kind of changing the way they've done it. But the low water, I have to say, is the key reason why they're struggling to get up on bed right now at Logan.
Yeah, it seems that this whole chain seems to revolve around that water level even more so than the water temperature, and then the moon phase on top of that. Well, Tracy, thank you so much for everything, and we will talk to you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Dano. Have a good day.
Hey, guys. Michael here. Quick commercial interruption. If you are a kayak angler, I want to make sure you are aware we just wrapped up our first monthly kayak tournament. We're running it all month long. We ran the 1st to the 20th of April. We are now open for registration for the month of May. It will run the 1st through the 31st of May on Tourney X. So click the link below and check it out. Again, kayak tournament, $25 buy-in. I think we paid out $490 for big fish this past tournament, along with some other goodies. So check it out and learn more about it. So thanks again. Back to the fishing report.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 23rd, presented by Mercury. Time for us to head on up to that big lake in the sky on top of that mountain up there with Tom Ott. He's trying to climb that mountain. Tom, tell us what's going on Guntersville these days.
Right now we got a little bit of a shad spawn going on. We were talking about that a little bit last week. It's probably just going to get stronger, but we get some real good sunshine, some warm, some real good warm weather. This weekend is going to just bust loose with that, I believe. There's still a lot of fish that are up there that are doing their thing, spawning. I think a lot have come and gone. It's just really good right now. A lot of fish to be caught. Kind of hard to catch a big fish. I think probably late February was your best chance to catch one of those big, giant Guntersville fish. But, they're still coming in. Tournament weights are around average 17 pounds, 20, 22 pounds winning tournaments, that kind of deal. So but tons of limits. So there's a lot of fish to be caught. It's just getting a little, it's that time of the year where you got fish kind of scattering out deep. You got fish that are real shallow. So, man, it's just time to get out there, throw your little brim looking baits, your chatter baits, that kind of thing. Brim are moving in. Great time to get some crickets, take the kids out there and just sit there and yank on some perch. It's just it's a magical time at Guntersville, I'll tell you.
So you're talking about shad spawns in the morning, which, that's a hour-long bite. You can stretch it out just a little bit. Spinnerbaits, chatterbaits, bladed jigs, crankbaits, all those kinds of things. Oh, yeah, swim bait, don't forget that. What do you turn to after that shad spawn?
Last week we were really catching a lot of fish shallow. Throwing a D-bomb, money, chatterbaits real shallow. And when I say shallow, I'm talking sub 3 foot, around coontail clumps, your reel grass. I kind of like the clumpy stuff better than I like anything that's carpeted, but I heard reports of spook bites, a little bit of topwater, a little bit of buzzbait bite going on, some frogging. The fish are really aggressive right now.
Well, any area of the lake better than the other that people should target right now?
Well, if anybody knows me, they know I don't like the midsection of the lake. I really like, the midsection of the lake is probably, I just don't see a reason to get out of there. There's just so much fish activity. But, as the year progresses, there's a lot of hard stuff that's downriver, and those fish are starting to move out to those hard spots. I think that just about anywhere you go. I know guys that like current like to fish upriver a little bit more, but I wouldn't say that one was better than the other. You might find a little bit better mixture of grass in certain areas, but I don't think that one would be any better than the other, just depending upon your tactics.
Well, we appreciate everything again. Have a great weekend. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 23rd, presented by Mercury. Time for us to connect with Lee Pitts, who's going to give us all the info, all the data, all the ones and zeros on Neely Henry and Weiss Lake. Let's start with Neely Henry today. Lee, what's happening on Neely Henry?
Neely, they got a lot of current coming through there right now. I've been at Weiss more this week, but the guys I've talked to down there, they're really catching some good fish, catching a lot of spots right now. I think the largemouth are still back in the pockets. They're still kind of locked up on bed a little bit, but the bass bite is pretty good down there right now. Things are starting to kind of happen. The weather's finally starting to turn a little bit for us, so the bass bite has been pretty good down on the lower end down that way. And
the crappie bite, are they starting to move towards the docks more? Are you starting to see them towards the time to get out there and do a little shooting?
They're kind of starting to, just like you said, starting to kind of shoot the docks on them a little bit. With the sun finally coming out, they're getting tucked up underneath these docks and in some of these trees that you can kind of see and, manipulate a bait around it a little bit, and you kind of have targets to shoot at. So a lot of people, they're really, really catching them up a little tighter down that way.
All right, so let's talk Weiss Lake. Tell us what's going on up there on your home puddle.
Well, it's that time of year, again, it's the fish are trying to come off bed a little bit. Some are coming, some are trying to get off, and it's just the largemouth bite has been a little tough. We've had some high winds this week that's made it just kind of hard to see these fish. It's staying the water up a little bit, but the bass, you're getting bit. We're catching some fish, but it's just not everywhere. It's just certain areas. Most of the fish are shallow. Still got a pretty good spot bite going on right now. Like I said, we just had to deal with those winds that wouldn't allow you to get out there wide and get on some of that offshore stuff. So, it's going to be interesting to see this week. I think the largemouth bite is going to win. And I believe it's going to be that guy that hits the stretch of bank, and the sun's finally hit it and warmed some things up, and some of these big females are finally getting where they want to eat a little bit. I think it's going to be a grind all day, but it's going to be a shallow chatterbait, some kind of swim jig, and maybe some plastics is probably what's going to take it this week.
Well, don't forget, folks, if you want to go crappie fishing, check with Lee Pitts at Lee Pitts Outdoors on Facebook. He's the one that'll put you on some fish sandwiches for life. Lee, thanks for everything, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. Crappie's turning on up here, too, so give me a call.
Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 23rd, presented by Mercury. Don't forget, you can always stop on by and see us here at the loft. Check out all the tackle parts, talk to Pat and Larry and the guys. Service department, Angela and Misty will be able to help take care of you. And then, of course, the sales staff, Katie, Patrick, and Melissa. They'll help you find what you need. But most of all, thanks for being the best part of Bucks Island, and we will talk to you again next week.